welcome to another episode of Spoiled. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and of course with me today is...
Tiffany, or Tiff-tastic, or Grand Tiff Tarkin.
That's right, she's got multiple personality disorder. Yeah, some days I come home from work and I'm like, Tiffany, and she says no, and I say Tiff-tastic, and she says no, and I say Grand Tiff Tarkin, and she says... Oh, welcome home, honey, and gives me a great big hug. So it just depends upon the day. But hey, we do this show together. This is Spoiled. This is where we do movie reviews, and we talk about stuff that we've watched. And so something, Tiffany, has happened since the last time we did this show together, and that is we have a whole lot more people out there watching us.
Yes, we do, and we thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much. This last couple of weeks has been insane. We've had a video just kind of blow up and is like done 700,000 views, and so a lot more exposure for the channel. And so if you are new to the channel, thank you so much for subscribing, and we just appreciate you being here, and we hope that you have a lot of fun with us, okay? And that's it. No big whoop, you know. We're just going to sit back and chat.
Who cares?
Yeah, we're going to have a cup of coffee, talk about movies, all right? And today, we're talking about a specific movie that we saw this week, because as film critics... Yes.
Watch it with your pinky up.
We went out and saw this small independent film that probably no one else has seen, no one else has ever even heard of. And that, of course, is...
Captain America, Civil War.
Yes, probably the whole dang world has seen this movie by now. But we
what team are you on?
Ooh.
Seeing the movie or not seeing the movie?
Oh, Captain America.
Go down there and tell us which side you're on.
Captain America or Iron Man, who is it going to be? And so we're going to talk about that movie today. And if you haven't seen it, guess what? We're not gonna talk about the movie beat by beat and explain every little thing. But if you haven't seen the movie, then you may want to wait on this video and just come back, okay? Because we are going to be talking about some spoilers.
It's called Spoiled for a reason, people.
Yes, and so sometimes we do non-spoiler reviews, but today we're going to do a spoiler-filled review. Because we're just going to talk openly about the movie as if you have seen the movie along with us. Like we were sitting there in the theater together and watched it, all right? So, so Tiffany, where should we start with Captain America? First of all, I would like to say that I'm wearing this shirt. This is my protest because I was going to protest this movie by not going opening weekend. Because
he's serious, people.
Because of Batman versus Superman. Yes. As most of you will know or you will learn, I'm a big Batman and Superman fan, and I was definitely a fan of the movie. And so
he's got a tattoo of it to show proof.
Yes, I do. I got this tattoo right here. Anyways, so... But the thing was like, you know, I didn't feel like I wanted to contribute to this movie's opening weekend.
Yes. Because our 5 tickets make such a big difference in the world scheme of movie stuff.
Yes. Well, you know, it might. But but then, you know, the kids wanted to go, and so I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and go see Captain America. And you know what? I'll just say off the top, I liked the movie.
Yes.
I did enjoy the movie. What did you think of the movie, Tiff?
I thought it was great. It was a good way of tying everything together, showing us some new characters, characters that have just started that they decided to bring in, even people that we've seen before, and they've kind of changed the characters to reboot a certain franchise.
Love interest
franchise, everything. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody, so it was very, very well put together.
Yeah, and I will say this, Captain America, out of all the Marvel movies, you know, there are so many people out there who are just like, Marvel can do no wrong. They are awesome, and every movie's awesome. And I'll say this, I'm more of a DC guy, but hey, I really love the Marvel movies.
Yes.
Okay? I mean, from the time that I first saw the first Iron Man, I was like, wow, this is great. You know, I mean, I never cared about Iron Man before. Nobody cared about Iron Man before. But Robert Downey Jr. did a great job. But I will say this, the Captain America movies have been the most consistently...
Yes.
They get better.
Yes.
You know, I mean, the first Captain America movie, I love the fact that they were able to even bring this character into the modern age.
And the way that they did with the animation, making them little, making them big, and all that other stuff. So
yeah, I mean, just that the first one was great. The second one took it to this whole other level and changed. You know, they kind of used the Captain America movies to kind of launch off in new directions.
Kind of weave together the other movies that are coming out.
And this is no different. They used part 2 to take down Shield and to spend, you know, to just kind of flip the MCU upside down. And this kind of does the same thing in a couple of ways. Now, I will say this. I found the beginning of the movie to be a little long.
But they did have to explain a little bit of where everything and everybody was coming from.
Yeah,
and I just kind of having to figure out how they were going to make this kind of feel like a splitting of sorts.
Yeah, no, I know, but like about 15 minutes into the movie, I remember just kind of looking at the boys and kind of looking at me, and one of the boys yawned, and I kind of I kind of felt like
I see what you mean.
All right, kind of get to it. You know, there was a lot of stuff, and I understand backstory stuff, and I don't have a problem with that. Now, if Batman or Superman was in this movie, I would just like to say,
yes. What do you have to say?
The whole critique of it would be, it was too long and boring, and I didn't understand it. They showed scenes that didn't make any sense about a car crashing. Yeah. But anyways, that's all I'll do for that. I won't fill this review, I promise, with my hurtful Batman versus Superman rants. But you know, but then, man, once this movie kicks in, it really kicks in. It really kicks in. And now I've heard some people talk about how, like, well, I didn't know which side to be on. Should I be on Captain America's or should I be on Iron Man's? Now, whose side were you on going in?
Going in, I was already feeling that I was Team Captain America. Just because of the people that I saw that were on his side, just what he stands for and why he did not want to sign anything and why he felt, no, this is my duty, this is what I'm supposed to do. I see wrong, I'm going to fix it.
Yeah. At any point in the movie, though, Tiffany, did you feel like, hey, they both have a point, maybe I should change that, you know, idea, or...
From the whole middle part of that movie, I felt, well, you know what? I kind of agree with him. And then, well, they're fighting for this. And I just kind of felt this tug of war going all the way up until the end. And then at the end, still feeling like, wow. I mean, it kind of made you feel that there was something going on both sides that you could stand for and that you understood where they were coming from.
Yeah, see, I felt the opposite. I guess I at no point.
I think because we had them together in Avengers, that it's kind of like a breakup or a friendship that you're like, well, but I don't want them to break up or I don't want them to split. But that's why it's called a war.
But I was always on Team Captain America. At no point in this movie did I feel like Tony Stark was making a good point about what they should do, and I didn't understand like why some of the characters that were following him were following him. I just felt like nobody's listening to Captain America. Like, shut up and listen to Captain America. That's just what I wanted to tell people. Like he's trying to tell you something and you are not listening. Now, you know, I understand the destruction that has been caused.
He was more thinking that, though, because, I mean, it all came down to that one lady saying, you know, it was my son and this and that, and kind of made him rethink that, yeah, we do have these powers. Yes, we're using them for good. But look at all of these people that got hurt in the process. And he really struggled with that.
Yeah.
Which kind of brought it down to you. Like, if I had superpowers, you can't save everybody, and in saving people, just like Batman and Superman, in saving them, there's still destruction. There's still people that will get hurt in the process.
Sure.
That's where I meant that I struggled.
No,
I
get it.
Side.
I get it. I gotta say though, I mean, if we're just gonna get the negative things out of the way, because there wasn't a lot of negative things about the movie, really. I mean, the beginning was a little slow, but again, Marvel is just the villains. The villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe just are not that great. Except for Loki. Loki's awesome and amazing. Yes. He has always been amazing, and he's one of the best villains ever. But it seems like all these villains that we get, like I thought it was cool that just a guy who was just affected by, you know, the fallout from the Avengers, you know, would just take them down from within. That was a cool idea, but like
the guy with a little metal punching thing that would push people back.
Yeah, you know, it's just as a villain, he just didn't even seem like a villain. You know, I mean, it's like how did he know where to get in here and do all these things and how to do it all? It just you know.
People with vengeance
that would be my
find ways to make things work.
Yeah, this is my own little complaint. I still have yet to see, besides Loki, just a kick-butt villain in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I'm really hoping as they lead up to the Infinity War with Thanos, that Thanos is that villain that finally
a little beefy.
Steps up, and we're just like, man, he is bad, right? And he is a great villain. I'm really hoping for it because I like the story of Captain America. This new one, I like the villain's motivation. I liked just the villain was just kind of, his personality was just kind of lackluster, I guess, for me. So now let's get to the airport scene.
Yes.
Oh,
that was tasty.
I loved how they brought the new characters together on Team Captain America.
Yes.
And how they brought the new characters together on Team Iron Man, right? What did you think of that?
I thought it was awesome just to see like who picked which side and why. Just the fact that when they realized that Iron Man and the people that were choosing his side, that they knew they had to come together to try to get him. How he had his almost like ragtag group. He's like, okay, I got Bucky and I've got Ant-Man. And Ant-Man was so excited to see him like, you're Captain America. Oh my gosh.
And it was like a bunch of kids on a playground going, I got him. I got him.
It was a Red Rover is what it was.
I got him and him and her. And so now we're going to fight you guys.
Arrow Man.
Yeah. I loved Ant-Man in the movie. I loved seeing those new characters.
My favorite that I actually super didn't think I was going to like, but I do, is Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
That kid is perfect.
Oh, let me tell you something about...
I just enjoyed it.
Young Mr. Holland as Spider-Man.
Yes.
From the moment that they first showed him walking into his apartment, I was like, oh, that's Spider-Man. This is awesome. And I loved his personality, and I called it. I wish I had made a video about this. Maybe it would have had 1 million hits. Who knows? But I did call it that. I said, hey, you know what? I bet you anything that Spider-Man starts off as just a kid who's just wearing a ragtag kind of uniform, right? And that's why Tony Stark calls him Underoos in the trailer, is because Tony puts together his costume and all that stuff, and that's exactly what happened. Yes. But I loved... Man, with this Spider-Man, finally, they nailed everything. They nailed the right age. They nailed the comedy.
Yes.
Comedy.
That kid has comedic timing that is just awesome.
That was just really great.
He's like, is this adamantium? Oh, I've seen you on the news. I'm gonna take you down now.
Yeah,
it was adorable.
It was really, really cool to see that.
It was adorable, kick buttery.
Yes, it was really cool to see that. He just portrayed Spider-Man in just the perfect way. Which
I think was awesome because our oldest son Isaac actually has fallen in love with Andrew Garfield, so he was kind of like how I feel about the Flash, not wanting to give people chances. And so he was kind of like doing the I don't want to like him, and then after the movie was done, he's like, okay, I really like that kid.
I love the Empire Strikes Back reference because The Empire Strikes Back is my favorite movie, hands down.
When Ant-Man got super big.
Ant-Man enlarging, that was a great sequence. That whole airport scene was great. But just to finish up on Spider-Man, I loved the things he said. Not just the fact that he was telling jokes, but the jokes that they chose. Like when he catches the arm, it was in the second trailer, and he catches Winter Soldier's arm, and he's like, you have a metal arm? That's so cool! And then, the Empire Strikes Back reference, where he takes down Ant-Man was super cool. And then just, different things like that. If I had one thing about Spider-Man that I didn't like in the movie, I didn't like how they took him out of it.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty much, you did your fighting scene. Okay, you're good. We'll come back to you later.
Go back to Sony, and when we need you, we'll call on you. And I didn't feel that this is something also, is that when they showed the live action version that you knew it was him in a costume, was it just me, or the costume didn't look the same as it did the CGI version that was hopping around? Like the texture of it, didn't it look more cloth when he was laying down and like when he had the mask half on?
Yeah, that one looked a little more cloth, but I do like the fact that in doing his costume they brought it back to more of the original look. It's not like the dark and burgundy and stuff like that. I did like the more comic bright colors.
So and then the little tag at the end with him was great too. And so Spider-Man, for me, Spider-Man stole the show because not only was it cool to just see Spider-Man with all those people finally in the MCU, but it was also the hope of the future of the Spider-Man.
Yes, looking forward to his movies now.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, the end was very interesting. What did you think of Black Panther? We haven't talked about Black Panther. What did you think about Black Panther?
Black Panther, I didn't know what to think of him. I didn't know what to make of him at first because that's the one character I wasn't sure about. I didn't know anything about him going into it. But kind of seeing, almost in a weird way, the history of that character on the show, because he kind of explained how the Black Panther had become the person that saved everybody, and it was passed down from generation to generation. So it was like almost like this is a part of what I have to do, on top of the royalty that came with his family line.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very interesting. It was almost not even just him in the costume, but like you noticed when he wasn't in costume, when he landed, it was always like the cat-like reflexes, like.
Yeah.
Maybe that was just me. I'm not saying it was cheesy. It was just, it took a little getting used to. It was someone I wasn't used to yet. But I thought he did a great job.
I liked him in this movie. I think that I would.
Little baby adamantium claws.
But it's not adamantium.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the same stuff.
It's vibranium.
Yeah.
Vibranium, because they can't use it.
Shield.
But see, here's the thing. I liked him in the ensemble movie.
Yeah.
But it's like, just like I don't want to see a solo movie of like The Vision, even though how cool The Vision is. I'm not really convinced, honestly. I know that they're making one, but I'm not really convinced that I want to see a whole Black Panther movie.
You almost need a couple of these people to help keep it legit.
I don't know. What do you guys think? I loved him as the ensemble thing. I think that the character was great. He was strong. He was all those things. I'm interested to see
heart through the movie.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how he carries a whole movie. The ending for me, it was kind of like, oh, they made up. No, they're fighting again, and and I understand why, but too, the thing is, it's like they knew that he was mind controlled.
Yeah.
I know it's still not going to be easy. If somebody killed my parents like that, and I just watched a video of them killing my parents, I'd be pretty ticked off too. But I guess for me, the one drawback that I've had in the last couple of these kind of movies, like the second Avengers movie and this movie, is it never felt like our heroes were in any real danger. It never felt like when they were fighting each other, even with it
was almost like our kids fighting brothers.
Yeah,
brothers.
even with
we're not
Rhodey,
gonna kill you, but
even with Rhodey, going through what he went through, and that was by accident. It wasn't because somebody just went up and was like,
looked and he shot and
he
just,
but he was but it was by accident, and so
he's got his technology to help him walk again. So
and so they even mentioned that they were kind of pulling punches. They weren't because they weren't fully committed to, they were just going to kill each other, and so I don't know.
There's also one thing you left out that I called in the movie.
Oh really?
And that was not only about the kick butt chicks, but it also showed unfortunately the end to Agent Carter.
Yes.
But in the process, the one thing I thought was actually kind of cool was the fact that in the second Captain America movie, the girl that we thought was just his neighbor in the apartment ended up being an agent, but we already knew that. She was Agent 21. But we get to find out that in the midst of all that, oh, by the way, she's Agent Carter's daughter.
Yeah.
And so I joked around and looked up to Enosh in the movie, and I was like, hey, I couldn't be with your mom because I was frozen in the ice for 75 years, and you're kind of hot. You're a Carter.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of called that one too. But it's funny because they're,
That's a likely excuse. So, whatever.
But
I got frozen, couldn't be with your mom, so, hey.
How
you doing? All right. So that's about it in a nutshell. I mean, that was the whole movie. I thought the movie ended in an interesting way because it kind of sets up the fact that, hey, no matter
we got more movies, so
no matter how much they fight,
happen now.
No matter how much they fight and how much they hated each other during this movie, they're going to come together again. They're going to be the Avengers again. There's going to be a lot more characters that are introduced.
Standalones. We've got more of Ant-Man coming. We've got all different kinds of stuff.
We got Doctor Strange coming. We got all these different things that are coming, and so so it ended on a positive note, and that's a good thing. And I like the fact that they didn't let the villain, that they didn't let Zemo just kind of
Shoot
wuss
himself.
out and shoot himself and be done. They made him, get put into prison.
But then it also makes you think, what are they setting it up? Because when the guy was almost being cocky, like, oh, you think you got your way? Oh, you did all this for naught? Well, what do you failed? And the guy looks at him and goes, well, did I? And it makes you think,
because he sowed the seeds of discord where they needed to be
So
sowed.
how much is Iron Man going to flip out in the next movie that he's in?
So when it comes down to it, I love the movie, but I'll be honest with you, I still liked Batman versus Superman better.
Yes.
And I know we're not really into comparing it, but my 3 sons also said the same thing. So, there you go. And they're young.
DC for life.
They're young, and they are the target audience, obviously, for this movie. And they enjoy Batman versus Superman a little bit more. So, what can you say? So, Tiffany,
yes.
To break it down for the people at home, the fine people at home, what grade 1 through 5 would you give?
5 being the highest?
5 being the highest.
I would actually give it about a 3. It wasn't a 5, like, knocked it out of the park. This is so awesome. I need to see it again and again and again. I honestly wouldn't mind seeing it at least one more time just to see what I missed. And it wasn't bad, but I just, for some of the reasons that we mentioned, I thought it was great. I thought the characters did awesome. They had kick-butt fighting scenes.
Yeah.
But I had more emotion and more invested into the Batman versus Superman, so I give it a 3 out of 5.
All right, so I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to say 4 because Spider-Man. There you go. Because Spider-Man. There you go.
Actually, it would be like this.
But what did you think? Hey, what did you think? That's the beauty of this channel. We want to hear from you. We want to know what your thoughts were. Did you like the movie? Have you seen it yet? Are you going to go out and see it? Did you see it and then maybe you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Wanna fight about it?
Hey, that's fine. And what I've learned on the internet this week is people will tell you to go kill yourself if they disagree with you. That's whatever. So, hey,
whatever.
Let us know down in the comments section. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel so that you know when we do more of these cool videos. And listen, there are lots of videos. I had a conversation with a guy this week. He's like, well, I'm not going to subscribe to your channel because I already subscribe to a lot of channels that do reviews and stuff like that. And I said, well, hey, take a look around the channel because guess what? There's some other different things. There's different types of shows on here, and you might find something you like. All right? And he did. And he said, you know what? I'm going to subscribe. So,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sticking around. We appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, I am Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett.
I am Tiffany, a.k.a. Tiff-tastic, a.k.a. Grand Tiff Tarkin.
We got to get her down to like 1 or 2 of those, don't we? All right, and thank you so much. This is Spoiled, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.